Okay, so this is the question which we are going to do. This is an exercise. Mohit, can you read this without the box?
Yes, sir. On 1st April 2022, Mohit started business with a capital of rupees 50,000. He made the following transactions.
Okay, just leave the
And
transaction. Last name, what is written?
you are required to generalize the above transaction and show the respective ledger of accounts.
So basically, this is an exercise which I have just put it on an Excel sheet. So you can just open the Excel sheet also at the same time. There is two Excel, so ledger posting file. Okay, so this is basically the the transaction. So this is 2018. Okay, not 2022. So on 1st April 2018, Mohit started business with a capital of 50,000. He made the following transactions. So these are the transactions. Can you see the transactions?
Yes, sir.
So on 3rd April, what he did, he purchased goods from Rita on credit for rupees 20,000. Okay. So these figures are in rupees. And then on, sorry. Okay. So so there are some transaction on 4th April. He paid cash to Rita because he has purchased 20,000 rupees goods from Rita. So he paid cash. So I'll just repeat it again because there was some disturbance. So what happens was that on 1st April 2018, there is a person called Mohit who started his business with a capital of rupees 50,000. So he made the following transactions. So he made some transaction, and this is for the transactions for the entire month of April. Okay. So on 3rd April, he purchased some goods from Rita on credit. He paid 20,000 for that. Okay. On 4th of April, he paid cash to Rita 10,000. Okay. On 6th of April, he sold some goods to Rohit for 25,000. Okay. On 7th of April, he received cash from Rohit. Okay. Then on 8th of April, he purchased some goods from Rita for 12,000. Okay. Earlier, he has purchased goods for 20,000. On 12th of April, he paid Rita 20,000. Okay. And on 16th April, he sold some goods to Rohit. Okay. On 27th April, he received cash from Rohit, rupees 6,000. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to, generalize these transactions and then post them into ledger. Okay. And we'll also make a trial balance later on. So first of all, we'll start with the journal. Okay. Fine. So, so please listen carefully because there's going to be an exercise later on which you have to do. I have already posted an exercise on Google Classroom, a similar exercise which you have to do yourself. Okay, fine. So the first books of accounts, which are the primary books of account, is called journal. So what we do is we journalize all the transactions. Are you able to see the journal?
Yes,
So what was the first transaction? First transaction was on 1st of April 2018, Mohit started business with a capital of rupees 50,000. So he made the following transactions. So the first he started business with rupees 50,000 and which was on 1st of April 2018, which I have written again here, and rupees 50,000 here. So what I have done is then first entry, which is date is 1st April 2018. He commenced his business with 50,000. So the cash is the real account, the cash debit what comes in. So cash has come into the business, okay, and he's going to credit the capital account of the person who is going to do the business. So we can even write the full name of Mohit's capital account. So so which is 50,000 credit. So if you go back to the transaction, this was started by Mohit. Okay, so we can even say here Mohit capital account. Okay, fine. So is this transaction clear? Why you are debiting cash? I mean, anyone?
Yes, sir, because we are debiting 50,000 into the capital account. So debit what comes in credit goes up.
Debit what comes in is the first rule which applies to the real account. So cash is the real account. So we are debiting cash account. Okay. But Mohit's capital account, what is this account? Real account or personal account? or nominal account?
Personal account, sir.
So
Credit,
what is the rule for personal account?
credit the giver.
Credit the giver. So Mohit has given the money to the company. Okay. So we are crediting his account. So is this first entry very clear to everyone? Okay. Now this is a journal entry and you have to write a narration also, always. Okay. If you don't write and if there's an exam question, you will get, lose some marks for that. Okay. Because it is must. Because whenever, we are reviewing the accounts, so we want to see, what was this amount. So because it was, commencement of the business, so we write being commenced business with cash. So he, started business with cash. So that's why this narration is coming. Fine. So this will help us, whenever somebody is looking at the accounts. So he wants to know, why this cash was received from Mohit, because he started business with cash. Okay. So first entry is clear to everyone. Dhruv,
Yes,
Mika.
sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everyone. Huh? Okay. Fine. So coming back to the screen again. So let's go to the second transaction. So we go to the transaction on 3rd of April. Okay. Fine. Purchase goods from Rita, rupees 20,000. So on credit. Okay. So the journal entry would be basically purchase account because he has purchased goods from Rita. Purchase to Rita because the goods were purchased on credit. So he has not paid the money to Rita so far. Okay. So what is purchase account?
So nominal account expense the debit the expense, sir.
Debit the expenses and who is speaking?
Dhruv.
Dhruv, very good. So purchase account is a nominal account. It's an expense for the company. So we are debiting purchase account. Okay. And from whom we have purchased the material? Rita. So what is Rita account?
Personal, sir.
Okay. So it's a personal account. So why we are creating Rita account? So what is the rule regarding the personal account?
So credit the giver.
Okay, credit the giver here. Okay, so that means who is giving the material to us? Rita. So that's why we are crediting her account. Okay, so we'll write a narration being purchases made on credit. Okay, fine. So we have made the purchase of goods on credit. So that's why we are writing a narration of this thing, and we have received 20,000. Is this clear to everyone? The second transaction.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have not following, please ask me questions. Okay. Fine. Because we have to do a similar kind of a exercise later on. So where there will be no help. Okay. So then we come to the third transaction. Okay. So the third transaction is here. Okay. Cash paid to Rita, 10,000. So we go to the journal, go to the primary books. And now what we are doing is we are saying Rita account debit to cash. So cash paid to Rita. So what is Rita account? It's a personal, nominal, real. Anyone else? Meika, can you
Sir,
reply?
person.
And what is the rule which is applicable?
So I don't remember the rules, sir.
Okay, anybody who remembers the rule regarding personal?
So debit the receiver.
Debit the receipt.
Debit the receiver and credit the giver. Okay, so who is receiving money? Rita. So that's why we are debiting. So it's a personal account, debit the receiver. So person who has got the money, we are debiting his account. So Mika, this is very important. At least for for understanding accounts, you must know that a little bit. Maybe that you won't be writing books or you're not going to be an accountant, but still it will help you out in your life. Okay, so Rita is a personal account, as you said, it's right, but debit the receiver, credit the giver. So here Rita is getting the money. So that's why we are debiting her account. And what is cash account? Real, personal, or nominal?
So real account.
Yes, sir.
Real account. Okay, so that means cash is coming in. Debit what comes in. So what is coming? Sorry, this is cash paid to Rita. Okay, so we are crediting. So cash, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So here cash is going out. Okay, from the company. So that's why we are crediting cash. Is that okay? Fine. So being paid to Rita. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we go to the fourth transaction. Okay, goods sold to Rohit. Okay, fine. So this is the fourth transaction because the first transaction was, I will just write this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth, and this is the fifth, this is the sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. And one transaction was the 50,000 which he started the business. Okay, I'm just going to save it. So we were on the fourth transaction, goods sold to Rohit. Fine. So for 25,000. So when we go to the journal entry and look at the fourth account, okay, Rohit will be debited because the goods have been sold to Rohit. Okay, and sale account will be credited. Now, what is sale account? Nominal, real, personal.
Nominal.
So debit all incomes, debit all expenses, credit all incomes and gains. So debit all expenses and losses and credit all income and gains. So sale is our income. That's why we are going to credit this account. Okay, and this is again a personal account. So debit the receiver. Okay, so he is getting the goods from us. We are selling the goods to Rohit. So that's why we are debiting his account. Okay, because we have to receive this money later on from him. So he will be standing as a receivable in our books. Okay, fine. Then we go to the fifth transaction. Okay, so fifth transaction is received cash from Rohit. Now Rohit is a person whom we are supplying goods. We are selling goods. He's a customer. So we are going to receive money from him. So on 7th April, he gave 20,000 rupees to us. So this is, transaction number 5. So we receive cash. Debit what comes in. Cash has come. So that's why we're debiting. And who is giving the money? Credit the receiver. So we are receiving the money from Rohit. So 20,000. So being cash received from Rohit. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So then we go to the sixth transaction. Okay. Goods purchased from Rita. 12,000 rupees. So we have again purchased goods from Rita. And this is the number 6 number transaction. So goods purchased from Rita. Okay, so purchase account is debited because it is going to be our expense. It's a nominal account, and credit the the giver, the person who was given the goods. So we are crediting her account with 12,000 on 8th of April 2018. Okay, fine. So okay, then we go to the seventh transaction. Okay, seventh is cash paid to Rita. Okay, so the two accounts going to be hit, Rita and cash. So cash is going out, so cash will be credited, okay, and Rita account will be debited. So let's look at and see. So Rita to cash, okay. So Rita is 20,000 has been paid to her because she's supplying goods to us. So that's why we are paying money to Rita. So Rita account debit, okay, and cash account credit. So cash is what is being going out. So credit what goes out, okay, debit the receiver and credit the giver. So here it is debit the receiver. So 20,000. Okay. Then we go to the 8th transaction. April 16th April, some goods were sold to Rohit. So again there is a sale taking place for rupees 10,000. So these are the goods sold to Rohit. So what will be the entry now will be passing? Anybody? Anybody can guess what is the entry will be generalizing?
Sir, real account.
But what will be the entry will be passing?
So 10,000?
No, that's okay. But what will be the journal entry? So goods are being sold. So it's a sale, okay? So Rohit is one account.
Rohit to sale.
Rohit to sales, okay? Fine, absolutely correct. Rohit to sale, okay? So Rohit account will be debited, okay? Fine, and because Rohit is receiving goods, so debit basically the receiver and credit the giver. So that's why here debit the receiver, and then sales account, which is a nominal account, okay? So we are crediting our income by 10,000. Yeah.
So I'm unable to understand the first transaction. Like to sales to understand that we have to give Rohit 10,000 rupees. So debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So 10,000 rupees are going out to we are giving it to Rohit. Like then what's the first transaction?
No, you're referring to transaction number 8 or what?
8, sir. 8.
No, again listen to me. What's your good name?
Devansh.
Devansh, here it is not, we have made sales to Rohit. Okay, fine. Who is, receiving the goods from us? Rohit. Okay, so here debit the receiver. Who is going to receive the goods from us? So debit the receiver and credit all income and gains. So what we are doing is this is a nominal account. Okay, so this is a nominal account. So sales is basically income. So we are crediting. And why we are not debiting Rohit? Because Rohit is we are giving goods to him. Okay, so what Rohit is getting? The goods which we are going to sell to him. So debit the receiver and credit the giver. Here Rohit is getting debited because he is receiving the goods, from us. Okay, fine.
Got
So,
it.
okay, so this is the transaction. So it happens. Okay, not only. I mean, even sometimes we also can make mistakes because they are so basic things that we understand accounts, but sometimes it's difficult to remember all the rules. Okay, unless you're teaching account subject. Okay, so often. Okay, fine. So let's go to transaction number 9. Received cash from Rohit. Now we have received cash from Rohit. Okay. So what we are getting? We are getting cash. So cash is what account? Real or which account?
Real.
Real. So debit what comes in? So we are going to debit cash. And who is giving the money to us? Rohit. We are going to credit his account. So cash debit to Rohit should be the account. Okay. So cash to Rohit. So debit what comes in? Cash is coming in. And credit the giver. So who is giving the money to us? Rohit. Is that okay? Have you all followed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is the journal. Okay. So what I have done is basically, and you can also follow the same thing, but though I don't know whether you will be able to use Excel sheets in your exams that we have to look at. So what I have done is that I am, putting, all the dates and everything are coming, linked to this thing. So if you see, it is from the transaction file, it is coming. Okay. So this is the transaction file. Okay. And this is the journal. So if you find on the date side, what I have done is I have just put a plus sign here and, put this 1st April for the first transaction. Okay. And 50,000 also I got it from this place. Okay. Fine. So that's why what I did was I have kept, this transaction. The first transaction was written here. So we can't copy from here. That's why, I've put the date and the amount separately so that I can just copy. And I did the same thing for all the transaction. Okay. So this and this are basically all formula driven Excel sheet. Okay. So here also I'll just, copy it from the transaction, the same 50,000. Fine. So this is basically the first transaction. Now, second transaction is purchase. This is the second transaction. Okay. So I'll go to, first of all, I'll just pick up the date of the transaction from my journal. Okay. So this is my first transaction. Fine. So 3rd of April is coming here. Then purchase. Now this account, this needs to be passed by manually by us. Purchase is how much? 20,000. So what I have done is I have linked this with to 20,000. Okay. Fine. So this also the same amount. Okay. So now the journal has been passed. Is this journal okay with everyone? Now you can of course practice it. I'll give you a question so that you can practice yourself. Okay, like this. Similar question, amounts will be changed. Some other information also changed, so you can do it easily. Now, what we have to do is basically we have to generalize these transactions. We have generalized these transactions. Now we have to put them in ledger. Now we should have a cash account. Okay, we should have a capital account. Okay, so this is Mohit's capital account. I can always write like that. So Mohit's capital account. Fine. So this is the capital account. This is the cash account. Purchase account. Retail's account. Rohit's account. And then sales account. And then finally the trial balance. Okay, trial balance will come to later. So basically, if you remember, the first thing is that we, whatever transactions we are, we're recording them in a journal. Then we are ledgerizing it. Now, how we do that? So this is the cash account. Okay. Now we will go by, say, the first transaction in here. So it will have a debit side here and a credit side. It's a T-shaped account. Okay. So let's look at, the format of the ledger. So it will have a date on the first column, particulars on the second column, and journal ledger folio. So from where we are bringing? We are bringing from here. Okay. Okay. So assume that this is, going to be, this is, page number 1. Okay. So we can say coming from number 1. Okay. Fine. So we can always write the reference from where it is coming. Okay. And we can just, put here. So we have not put any page number here. So it's number 1. So general folio will talk about later. So this is the amount. So this all is your debit side. Okay. Fine. Up to this to this. Okay. So this is the debit side from this place to this place, it's all debit. So I'm putting a marker here, okay? And this is basically the credit side, okay? Fine. So I'm just putting it by different name. Fine. So this is the cash account, or rather I should make, here. What I'll do, I'll just redo it. Okay. So this is, so up to this is, like this. Fine. So you have, debit up to this, and credit, all credit details are coming on the red tab. Okay. Fine. So cash account. So cash account is what? An asset or a liability? Cash account is what? Asset or a liability? First of all, what is cash account? It's a real account, personal account, or nominal account?
A real account.
Okay, it's a real account. Fine. So it is an asset for the company. Okay. Because whatever money we are having with us that belongs to the company, it's an asset account. So asset account will always have a debit balance. Remember that. Okay. Because we can't have negative cash. Okay. So first we are going to start the business. So the business was started from 1st of April. Okay. So we just go to the journal and pick up this first entry from here. Okay. So this is the 1st April, first transaction coming in. So how much money we have received from Mohit? 50,000. So what we do is we just go to the transaction, cash account to Mohit, cash debited to Mohit's credit. Okay. So this entry will be passed like this. Okay. We will just go to the cash and say to Mohit's capital account. Okay. Fine. So so cash is debited and Mohit account is credited here. Okay. So 50,000 will come here. So that means the cash balance has gone up. So this is the debit side. So company has received cash. So this cash account will be debited. Okay. As we can see here, cash account is being debited here. So it will come on this side, cash debit. Okay. So first transaction. Okay. Now there's a transaction on 4th. Okay. Where, Rita was paid 10,000. Okay. Fine. So we go to the journal and see when Rita was paid. So Rita was paid on 4th of April, 10,000. So Rita took cash. Okay. So how the entry is passed here? Rita. So this is a cash debit and credit to Rita. Okay. So this account 10,000 is going. So cash account is credited and Rita's account is debited here. Sorry. So Rita's account is debited and cash account is credited. So 10,000 coming here. So let's just forgetting all these entries. Now Rita was paid the money twice. Okay. So 10,000 was paid here and 20,000 was paid on 20th of April. Okay. And then what money came into business? 50,000 from Mohit, and Rohit, whom we are selling goods, he paid on 7th April 20,000 and on 27th April 6,000. Okay. So that means total cash which was received by the company was 76,000, which is coming here. Okay. Which is basically this formula. Okay. 76,000 was received. And how much was paid? 10,000 and 20,000. Fine. So this is the balance. Okay. Fine. This is the balance which is basically carried like this. This minus these two entries. So that means as on the 27th or maybe 30th of April, the last day of the month, the balance was 46,000. How it we have arrived? By whatever money which was received in cash account was 76,000. What we received 50,000 from the Mohit, who is starting the business, and then we sold some goods to the Rohit. We have seen the transactions, so it is coming from basically from the journal. Okay, and 6,000 again we received it. So if you can go here, we can see that there were two transactions where we received cash. Okay, so Rohit, cash to Rohit. So this is 20,000, which is getting posted to the cash account. Okay, and then again there was a last transaction, cash to Rohit, 6,000. So he paid 6,000 and 20,000. So which is coming in the cash account here. Okay, so 50,000 receipt from Mohit when he started the business. Then Rohit gave us 20,000 and 6,000. Fine. So total money which was received in cash was 76,000. So we have to debit cash account always. Since it's the debit side, so it will appear on debit. So this is increasing the bank cash balance. Okay. Now what is actually using the cash? We are paying some money to Rita because we are purchasing some goods from Rita. So we had purchased 10,000 and 20,000. So we can go to the journal here, okay, and see Rita to cash, okay, and let's say Rita to cash is there. So this is 20,000, and then one more transaction of Rita, which was Rita to cash, 10,000. Okay, so these are the two amounts which are paid to Rita. Okay, one was this 10,000, and second was this 12,000. So purchase, Rita to cash, 20,000. Okay, so if we go to the cash account, we'll find 10,000 is being paid to Rita on 4th of April, and on 12th of April another 20,000 was paid. Okay, so that means in the month of April, business received 76,000, which is basically, if we just put a tab here, we'll get 76,000. Okay, now what should be the balance? How much balance should be there? If you received 50,000 from the owner and 20,000 from your customer and another 6,000 from your customer, so that means your cash balance should be 76,000 if you have not paid any money to anyone. But since you have paid to Rita 10,000 and 20,000, so this will be the balancing figure as on 30th of April. So as on 30th of April, this was the balance of cash. So we will just write here, okay, and we can even put like this here so that it tallies. So this is basically both sides is 76,000, and this is the balance. Okay, now this balance is carried forward to the next month. So on 1st of April 2018, balance would be 46,000. Okay, so the cash balance is a debit balance, so that's why it will come here. Ultimately it will be brought down, and whenever we make a trial balance, so this will be the amount we will be making from the trial balance. Okay, is this clear to everyone, or some doubts here? Should I explain again once more? Or is it okay? Are you finding it a bit difficult?
Sir, can you explain it one more time?
Okay, one more time. Okay, fine. Right. So, fine. So let's begin. Now now from journal, we have to make ledgers. Okay. Now, there would be many ledgers which we have to make. Okay. All those accounts which are hitting in our journal, we have to make a ledger for all these accounts. Okay. For example, we have, like a cash account. So how much cash we have? Ultimately, after having doing all these transactions, we must know what is our cash balance. Okay, all the transactions will go into the cash account which involved cash, and it will help us to know what is the total cash which is lying with the business. Okay, so ledger will actually give us the position of cash, how much cash has come into the business and how much cash has gone out of the business. So it gives you a total picture of all the cash transaction. So cash ledger will give that. Similarly, there is a capital account of Mohit. So Mohit has giving some money to the business, and he will be drawing some business money also from the business as the business makes profit, or he may even contribute some money even later. Okay, but as of now in this transaction, the month of April, he has given 50,000 rupees to the company. So we should have a Mohit's capital account also, where we can look at Mohit's capital account any given time, and we know how much Mohit has given money to the company and how much money he has taken out. Okay, since we have only 9 or 10 transactions, so we have only one transaction hitting capital account. So we'll have cash account, we will have capital account. Then we are purchasing goods. Okay, we are doing business, and we are buying goods from our suppliers and selling those goods to our customers. So we should have a purchase account. So for the month of April, we will come to know how much purchases we have made. Okay, fine. So that's our expense. So we need to maintain purchase account. Then we have Rita account. Okay. Now we are purchasing goods from Rita. So she is supplying goods to us, and then we are also paying to her money, because when we buy goods from Rita, we have to pay money later or maybe at the same time. So we must have Rita account at any given point of time. We must know how much money we have to pay to Rita on account of how much goods we have purchased and how much money we have paid, and what is the balance which is payable to Rita. Is that okay? Similarly, so Rita and cash again appearing same, so same logic. Rohit to sales. Now this is a fresh entry where we are selling goods to Rohit. So first of all, talk about sales. We must know how much or let's talk about Rohit first. So Rohit, our customer. Okay. So Rohit is taking goods from us. So at the again Rohit is going to pay cash to us later on when he gives the cash to us against whatever goods we have supplied. So we must know how much money we have to take from Rohit at any point of time, because he is our customer. We are supplying goods to her, so all the sales will go hit his account, and then all the cash we are receiving from him will also go into his account, and ultimately we will come to know how much money we have to get to receive from Rohit. Okay, fine. Sales account is basically a nominal account. That means our income. So at the end, we must know, what is our sales. Okay, fine. How much, amount of goods we have sold. Fine. So this is basically all ledger accounts. Fine. So these accounts basically help us, because journal is simply a transaction list. Okay, so we'll not be able to make any analysis from the journal. But if you have to really understand the business, we should know and how to make ledgers and how to read those ledgers. So first, let us go to the cash account. Fine. Okay, so I'm not going entry by entry. I'm just saying that in cash account, whatever cash which has been received here. So this will be basically I can say receipt. Okay, and this is basically payment. To better understand that whenever a company receives money, so money will come here. So money has been received from Rohit. Remember, he has started the business with 50,000. So there's a journal entry where Mohit gave 50,000 rupees. So all receipts are coming here. So we can put, instead of receipt, we can say receipts, because there will be a lot of transaction here. Okay. So then Rohit has given money to us. Who is Rohit? Our customer or our supplier? Who is Rohit? Is he our customer or our supplier? Who will give us money? Our customer or our supplier?
Customer.
So Rohit is our customer, because we are selling goods to Rohit. So he has given money on 7th of April and 27th of April. Okay. How much? 20,000 and 6,000. So when we look at all the journal entries, there are three places where we have received money. Okay. So we are going to put here. Fine. And give some reference of the folio, journal folio. Okay. Now when we make books, so each ledger will or journal will have a page number. Okay, so we have to give a reference. So whenever we are checking back and seeing from where the entry has come, so there will be some page number like this, 12 number, 14 number like this, it will be there. But in case in here we don't have such, so we are not putting any page number here. Okay, payments. Okay, so here also I will write payments. So we have made two payments. On 4th of April we paid 10,000 to Rita. On 20th April, we paid 20,000 to Rita. Okay. Now, who is Rita? Our customer or our supplier?
Supplier.
And when we buy goods from our supplier, we have to pay her. So that's why it's coming under the payment column. Okay. So 10,000 and 20,000 we have paid to Rita. Okay. Now we have got altogether 76,000. 50,000 from the promoter of the company, the owner of the company, and 26,000 from the customer. So altogether we received 76,000. But how much we have paid? 30,000. So what should be the balance remaining? 46,000. So what we do, we simply make the total of both the sides and write the balancing figure, and we say balance. Okay. And this balance is carried forward on the debit side here to start the next month. Okay. So when we start the next month, we'll say the bank balance is 46,000, which will come on the receipt side, because this is the positive balance. We have the money with us. Okay. Is it clear now, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now we come to capital account. Now this is basically Mohit's capital account. So this is Mohit's capital account. Now, Mohit's capital account is basically, when this is the credit account. So Mohit is what? He is basically the person who is starting the business. Okay. And the company owes, or the business owes money to Mohit. So Mohit will have a credit balance. Okay. So, but he has paid money to us first. So we will be crediting his account by 50,000. So all the liabilities in the books of account will have always a credit balance. So when we say how much money Mohit has given, he has paid cash. So this is the first transaction, where he paid cash, if you remember. Okay, he paid cash to the business. Okay, fine. So this account is getting posted here that he has paid cash. So we are crediting Mohit's account. Okay, so it will go as a liability side. So for a company, this is a liability. Okay, so we will write cash here. Then there was no other transaction. So he just gave 50,000. So what we do is that we write, on this side 50,000. So we balance it off and bring this 50,000 as balance here. Okay, which will be on 1st of April. So this is 50,000 trade balance. So this will basically go into the balance sheet as a liability for the company, because this is the money which Mohit has given. Okay, fine. Okay, so is that clear? So I'll just repeat it again. I'll just repeat here. This is Mohit. Okay, his capital account. Fine. And Mohit has given money to the company. Okay, so which will come here. So he has given the money to the company. So which is coming here, 50,000. Okay, and it will appear on the credit side. Fine. So then if we want to know what is the balance of capital account, we'll say this. So this account will go to the trial balance. So whatever is coming as balance brought down, which is on 1st of April, will go to the trial balance from here. Okay. Then we have the purchase account. So we want to know how much purchases we have made. Okay. So debit the purchase account. It's a nominal account. Okay. It's an expense account. So from whom we have purchased goods? From Rita twice. So Rita is our basically supplier. So she has supplied goods on 3rd of April and on 8th of April. How much? 20,000 and 12,000. Okay. So we'll just make a total of this and write this total here also. And then we'll say this is my balance. Okay. And then we will transfer this balance to brought down on 1st of May. Okay. So this is basically my balance of purchase. So this is my expense for the month of April. Okay. My total expense for the month of April is 32,000. Okay. Fine. Then we go to Rita's account. If you look at Rita's account, so Rita is our whom? Supplier. So supplier is a liability. Okay. That means we have to pay the money to our supplier. So this will always go to the credit side. So whatever we purchase from Rita, it will come on the credit side. So twice we paid, twice we, purchased some material from her. One for 12,000, one for 20,000, another for 12,000. On which dates? On 3rd of April and 8th of April. So these are the two purchases we made. Okay. So total was 32,000. But we have paid Rita on 4th of April and 12th of April. Twice cash. So 4th cash was paid for 10,000 and another 20,000 was paid to her on 12th of April. Fine. So if we do the balance here, so this size is bigger. So that means the balancing side amount will come here. So this is the balance of Rita. So this amount is payable to Rita or it is receivable from Rita. So
which one?
This money, 2,000, which is coming, we have purchased 20,000 and 12,000 worth material from her. So how much material she has supplied? 32,000. But how much we have paid to her? 30,000. So this 2,000 stands payable to Rita, isn't it? So this will
we have to pay.
So this will come, on the next month, it will come on this side, credit balance. So this is a liability. So all liabilities will have a credit balance. Okay. So here what we are doing for only balancing here. Ultimately, the real balance will shift to the credit side. This is what money which stands payable to Rita. Okay. Then we look at Rohit's account. Now Rohit, we are selling goods to Rohit. Okay. So we are debiting Rohit for all the sales what we have made. So there are two number of sales which we made. On 6th April, we paid 25,000 rupees goods. And on 16th April, we made sales of 10,000. Okay. So altogether, we have, sold goods worth 35,000 to Rohit. And what money we have received from Rohit, which will come on the credit side, 20,000 and 6,000. Okay, so dates are missing, so we can just put the dates here. So first is 20,000 cash to Rohit, being cash received. Okay, okay. Here also I'll put the date 6,000. 6,000 was received, which was the last transaction, I believe. Okay. So Rohit, we sold 35,000 worth of goods and he has paid 20,000 and 6,000. So the 9,000 is the money which is still to be collected from him. So what we'll do, we'll total these two and calculate the balance, 9,000. So 9,000 balance will come here, debit side. Okay. So this will be on 1st of May, we can say. So this is the money which is, recoverable from Rohit further, 9,000, because we have sold goods worth 35,000 to him and he has paid only 9,000. Okay, fine.
Sir, he has paid 26,000 and we have to collect 9,000.
We have to collect, sorry, oh, okay. Maybe I said just the opposite, okay. So, we have made sales worth 35,000, okay, and he has paid 26,000. That is what you are saying? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe I just, so 9,000 we have to collect from him, okay, because he is our customer. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we do is the last one, okay, for this thing, then we have the sales account, sorry, the sales account also. So this is the sales account, which is our income account, okay, fine. So whatever sales we are making, it will come on the credit side. So all the money, all the incomes will be coming, because this account will have a credit balance, because credit all income and gains. So sales will always have a credit balance. Okay. So whom we have made sales? Rohit on 6th of April and on 16th of April. How much? 25,000 and 10,000. Okay. So altogether, the sale is for 35,000. We just total it and balance it off and carry it forward in the next month, 35,000. So credit balance. So sales account will always have a credit balance.
Sir?
Yeah.
So by Rohit means that the money has come from Rohit, right? So from him it has been.
No, it is not. It is not the money which is coming here. It is basically, Rohit. The sale has been made to Rohit. Okay. Sales account will not show how much money we have received. Sales account will show only how much goods we have sold to Rohit. So remember that always. Okay. So only when we have to look from, how much money has been received from Rohit. So here we will see how much money we have received. So if you are referring to Rohit account, then it's okay. We have received only 26,000. Okay. So I'll just take you down. Okay. Once more. Okay. Before we go to the trial balance and all. So now, all these transactions were there. There were only 10 transactions, not more. But in business, there are thousands of transactions. So this is a very small, number which we are looking at. So which can, you can understand. Now you have done the business. Okay. You have done the transactions from the month of April. You want to know how much cash we have. Okay. Cash balance is 46,000. Okay. This is my cash balance. First of all, that is what we get. How much cash is lying? So if I physically count cash, it will be 46,000 in my safe. Because, I had received 50,000 from the owner, 20,000 I received from my customer, and then I paid, 10,000 and 20,000 to my supplier. So altogether, I balanced it off. I got my balance, 46,000. So this is my ledger account, which is telling what is my cash balance. And this cash balance should exactly tally with the cash which is I am having physically, which is lying in my safe or anywhere. Is that okay? Is this clear? Up to this now? Okay. Now coming to the capital account. Now capital account is basically the capital account of the owner. Okay. Now owner is like a creditor to the company. Okay. Because as a dual, entity concept, which means that, Mohit is a separate entity from the business. So Mohit has given money to the company. Okay. So when he gave the money on 1st of April, when the business started, so he gets 50,000. So after that, he has not, provided some more money. Neither he has taken out any money from the company. So his balance is 50,000, which is credit. So this will be shown as a liability of the company towards Mohit. Okay. So it will be going to the liability side of, when we make a balance sheet, this will appear as a liability. Okay. Why liability? Because he is the owner And as per the the dual entity concept in the accounts, the person who starts the business and gives money to the company, he becomes the creditor of the company. Okay, as long as he has a positive balance. Okay, so this is when if the business is closed down, he will be given this 50,000 at least, whatever money is lying here. Okay, fine. And any profit the company makes, so which will also get credited to his account. With the transaction we have not yet passed. Okay, then we look at purchase account. On a purchase account, we come to know, how much goods we have purchased. If suppose somebody says, you're doing business, what amount of goods you have purchased. Like suppose, you are a lawyer and some case is going on and, you want to see, what are the total purchases made by the company. Okay. And suppose, Rita is saying that, Rita is your client and Rita says that, I had supplied goods worth of 32,000. Okay. And the company has not paid any money. Okay. So you'll ask the company, Mohit's company, as a lawyer, that I want your purchase account and Rita's account. I want to just go and understand. So the moment you see the purchase account, you'll find Rita has supplied goods. Okay. Then you will go to Rita account and say, how much money is payable to Rita? 2,000. Because, 10,000, 20,000 was paid to her. So only 2,000 is balance. Because suppose Mohit is saying that, this is basically the Rita account. So this 2,000 is payable to Rita. Okay. Fine. But Mohit is saying that, no, we don't have to pay any money. But then as a lawyer, you will say, okay, as per your own books of account, 2,000 stands payable because it is having a credit balance. So why you're disputing this amount? You got me? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So listen once more. So purchase account, as a lawyer, you must understand if you have to see, how much purchases the company has made for a given period. Now, in this case, it is only for 1 month. So company has purchased goods worth 32,000. And who supplied goods to the company? Rita. So all these goods are coming here, 32,000, which has been shown in your purchase account. It is coming here. Now, but it may happen that 2 or 3 people might be supplying. So this is in the month of April only Rita is supplied. So all the purchases have been made from Rita. Okay. So Rita has supplied goods worth 32,000. Okay, but she got paid twice, 10,000 and 20,000. So how much is still payable to Rita? 2,000. Suppose you are Rita's client. Okay. And Rita says that, this guy Mohit is not paying me any money. He says, nothing is payable to me. So as a lawyer, you will request court to get, the account, purchase account and Rita's account from the, from the company, Mohit's company. So that, you can check, as per the ledger of that company, how much stands payable to Rita. The moment the 2 accounts are given to you and you can present these 2 accounts to the court and say Rita is right, this amount stands payable to Rita because the books of Mohit is also showing the same. Why Mohit is saying that nothing is payable? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we come to Rohit, the customer. Okay. Now, rather we should look first the sales. Okay. So I'm just putting it sales first. Okay. Now, how much sale? You want to know what is my sale for the month of April? After all, when you do business, you are always interested to know what is my top line, what is my total sale. So looking at this, you will go to the credit side and look that this is the customers to whom you have supplied your material. So you made a sale on 6th of April and you made a sale on 16th of April, twice. And to the same customer, Rohit, 25,000 and 10,000. Okay, so your total sale was 35,000, which is shown a credit balance. Fine, so this is your sale. Now you want to know out of the sale how much money has been received by me. So you'll go to your customer account, isn't it? So your sales will be debited to the customer account. Okay, so this is Rohit account. So this is amount is receivable from him. You're going to debit his account. So in the books, you should always have a debit balance of your customer, which you're having, which is 9,000, because you supplied twice the goods to him, but he has paid also twice, but not full amount. So he paid 20,000 as against 25,000 goods supplied. For against 10,000, he paid 6,000. So altogether, 26,000 worth of money was paid by him, and the total amount of sales was 35,000. So balance money which is recoverable from Rohit is 9,000. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So these are ledger accounts. Basically, ledger gives you a complete picture about the story. Okay. Now the last thing. Okay. Before we have a break, and then I'll give you an exercise to do. So then you make a trial balance. Okay. Now capital account. So you put all the accounts which you have. You have capital account, you have sales account, you have purchase account, you have Rohit account, you have Rita account, and cash account. So if you put all the balances, they are coming down to 87,000. Okay. So trial balance should tally. All the transactions which have been entered, if you make a trial balance, it should tally. So capital account. So I'll go to the capital account first. So capital account. So it has a credit balance. So this amount will be posted on the credit side. Okay. Fine. Sales account. So go to sales account. And this amount will get posted on the credit side, sales account. Okay. Then purchase account. Purchase account. So this account debit side. So which is coming on 1st of May. Okay. Always take up that amount. Okay. Rohit's account. This balance 9,000 still receivable from him. Rita 2,000 still payable to Rita. So all the money which is still outstanding will come here. Cash. What is the cash balance I have in my account? Okay. So this will show you how much money I have. So debit balance. Okay. So if you just make the total of everything, it will come to 87,000. Okay. If I just add all this and just copy this here. Okay. No. 87,000. So this is called the trial balance. Okay. So when you write your books, the first thing is you make a journal. From journal to ledger, ledger to trial balance. If you remember, the journey is like this. Okay. Okay. So transactions, journal, ledger, trial balance. Then you make your final account, which is your balance sheet, profit loss account. Okay. Fine. I hope you have followed this.
Yes, sir.
So now, what I'll request is that you can, open your Google Classroom, this thing, and there is a question which I have, given to you. Okay. And your WhatsApp also, that question has been given to you. And you please solve that question in the remaining time of the class. So as far as my class ends here, of course, I'll be still logging in. You can just go to the Google and start doing it at 10:30. I'll just come for just 5 minutes before I'll come and take the attendance. Okay. You have to submit your, this thing anytime by the end of the day or maybe tomorrow morning. Okay. Fine. You can always refer to the solved question which is there to understand that. If you have any problem, you can ask me at 10:25. Okay, when I come for the attendance. Is that clear?
Yes. Sir, you will upload the recording also.
I'll upload the recording. My recording is. Can you see this thing? So
Yes.
I'll stop the recording.